Labor is claiming the coalition wants to put aged pensioners onto the Cashless Welfare Card, a card that operates like a bank debit card, but which cannot be used to buy alcohol or for gambling. Labor's claims are based on comments by the same person at the centre of the claims about cuts to Medicare, Senator Anne Ruston.
Would you like to see the card rolled out nationally for everyone on welfare? That was the original proposition, actually, by Andrew Twiggy Forrest in his report when the Abbott government was first elected. Is that a model you think might work?
I think we need to look at all of it, all of the data, anecdotal, qualitative and quantitative, and then sit down and have the conversation.
Well, since the last 8 months since becoming the Minister responsible for the cashless debit card, I've had a very strong interest in the card over many years. This card that is actually now, because of technology, able to provide broad financial and budgeting tools to people, whether there is a conversation that the Australian public would like to have about the broadening of the use of the card.
Does the government intend to roll this out nationally and make it compulsory for all welfare recipients?
The conversation that we need to have is about the advantages of the card. It actually has become a financial budgeting tool. There is a broader application for the whole community. And something that we would like to have a conversation with them about.
So do you plan to make it compulsory at some point?
I think this is the start of a consultation. I mean, we've run a number of trial sites. We're seeking, as I said, to put all income management onto the universal platform, which is the cashless debit card. And I think then the conversation needs to be had about what are the advantages of this card, and it's up to us as a government to go and sell those advantages in the hope that the Australian community will see the value of it.
There are some groups who say it's discriminatory and inhumane and are questioning why it's being rolled out nationally.
If we can give people on low incomes a budget management tool, then I think we should be investing in that.
Labor's claiming the government plans to put all aged pensioners on the cashless welfare card.
How is it not a scare campaign?
Well, it's based upon the government's own policy.
Stop frightening pensioners. It is an out-and-out disgusting lie.
We just had Linda Burney on the show talking about the future of cashless debit cards. That's going to be a vote today in the Senate. There are 2 trials of this program that has been in Queensland. What evidence have you got that suggests that they have been successful?
Look, I've spoken to people down in Bundaberg in one of the trials. Despite the enormous scare campaign that was launched against these cards before their implementation, there just hasn't been the sort of outcomes that were predicted. That was that somehow pensioners would not have access to resources.
So what we would seek to do through technology is you go into people's point of sale systems, or you seek for them to do so, and ask them to block a range of products. And they are some things like gift cards, and also you can't actually use it to withdraw cash. These
trials have worked, and I think it's now time that we roll it out across the country.
Well, the cost of administering the scheme, though, is reported to be at about $10,000 per person per year. Wouldn't that money, and then you've got the welfare payments on top of that, wouldn't that money be better off being spent in another way?
The first point to make, of course, is that the costs will come down the more people that are captured by this scheme.
So how big should this expansion be, in your view?
Well, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't progressively roll it out over the country over time. I don't see any reason why that we shouldn't hope for something like it to be rolled out right across the country as soon as we can.
Stop frightening pensioners. It is an out-and-out disgusting lie.
On your plan to extend the trial of welfare cards in Australia, you're a Liberal government, so your values are meant to be personal liberty, or one of them. Why not make it voluntary for people to sign up to income management if they feel they need some help, instead of making it a compulsory nanny state kind of thing?
Well, I'm all in favour of things that work, Lee. This has been helping people better manage their own affairs, and this has been working, and so we want to keep extending the trials.
Well, you say you want to back things that work. The Australian National Audit Office report into the trials so far said that the approach to monitoring and evaluation was inadequate. As a consequence, it's difficult to conclude whether there had been a reduction in social harm and whether the card was a lower cost welfare quarantining approach. So the Auditor General seems to think that the evidence is out.
What we do know is that the people who are involved themselves in these communities have welcomed them and supported the plan.
But what are you...
And so I'm happy to keep giving it a go.
Sorry to interrupt, Prime Minister, but what are you basing that on? Because I'm basing it on the Australian National Audit Office report. I'm just wondering what you're basing it on.
I'm basing it on the survey, based on the survey of people who've actually participated.
People on welfare sometimes already feel a sense of shame about that. Isn't making something like this mandatory instead of opt-in potentially contributing to that sense of shame?
Well, I'm all in favour of things that work, Lee. So
Sorry
I'm happy to keep giving it a go.